Okay, I guess we're live. Hi. Welcome back to another Catastrophe Healing Talk. And today we are continuing our conversations about the ancient teachings that have been lost to the masses and are being brought back at this time. And by the way, these are the teachings that Kay wrote about in her book, her latest book, The Weavings, Dawn of a New World. The QR code on the screen gets you to Amazon for that book if you want to check it out. And there's also a link in the description. And today's item on the list is to free your sacred life energy, feel it, let it heal you, and use it for good. Can't wait. Before Kay gets into it, like, subscribe, comment, share, ask questions. I'd love to hear those to help us out, to help the channel. So, Kay.
Okay. Life energy.
I haven't introduced anybody. Hi.
Please.
My name is Helmut. Forgot to introduce the people. And I'm here with the Loras again. They're back. Hi, guys. And of course, Kay. Hello, Kay.
Hello.
And now we're ready to start.
Okay. Well, life energy is one of the first things that I was taught by all of my teachers. My first two teachers were Demano and Chia Hedeka from Peru. And then my third teacher was a woman who was the lineage carrier from the Berber tribe tradition of the pre-flood temple teachings from Egypt. So both of those groups, both of those traditions, they start with very early on with the talks about life energy. And life energy is what is inside us and it's outside us and inside and outside of everybody and everything. And it's always moving, it's flowing. It's flowing and moving, and it has currents, and it builds up in places and then gets a little less. And it's everywhere in the universe. And it's huge, it's dense. It is the energy in what we call the field of consciousness, a field of aliveness, of awareness, of there's probably 1,000 different names for it. But this is the field that we are in contact with. It is a field of energy the size of the universe or bigger. We don't know really. And it's in just constant activity, constant movement. And this field is comprised of what today's scientists, the really new edge of the quantum physics, call these little energy pieces. It's like they call it a quanta of energy, or there's some other names for it not coming to mind right away. But they're always moving. They're coming in contact with each other. They're moving around. They're sending energy, receiving energy. And these little energy bundles are always holding information. There is no energy without information. There is no information without the energy. They are a thing. And this is what life energy is. This is the energy of the field. And it's the energy that just lives and makes the field, and it flows like the ocean or like rivers, everywhere, through everything. And it's feeding everything all the time. It is the giver of nutrition and life and intelligence. It is the giver of beauty and peace and love. Big on the love. And we have learned through time and in more recent history, so science has been learning that this energy is very sensitive to human consciousness, to all consciousness, the energy itself, these little energy bundles in the field, and it's all conscious and alive and thinking and feeling and collecting information. This is the great cosmic library of all history and all knowledge and all possible futures and all possible nows and possible pasts. And it all exists in this cosmic quantum field. And we're part of it. We and everything else in our physical world, we are part of it. It is what makes us up. It is these energy information bundles that makes up the matter. So we're all made of it. They say that matter is just the frozen energy bundles. So being consciousness itself and all information and knowledge and history and all knowingness, it's very sensitive to all the other consciousnesses that are part of it, and that includes humans. And that's something that the ancient teachings talk about forever, and science is just now tuning into it, finding out about it. So what we think and what we feel, what actions we're taking, how we're communicating, these things affect that life energy. They inform the life energy. They inform the field. And at the same time, the field and the life energy is always informing us. We're intimately connected to it because we are part of it. So they start off right at the beginning of your lessons with what this really means to humans. What does it mean to you in your daily life? And why should you care? You're not seeing it, and it doesn't really feel like you're touching it. You're touching the air. So what difference does it make? Well, it really makes all the difference in the world, because this is the primary thing. This is the primary influence. This is the primary thing that influences your aliveness. We know if we don't eat for a bit, we're going to drop dead. And if we don't drink water for a bit, we're going to drop dead. And if we don't have air for a very short little bit, we're going to drop dead. Well, if you don't have the life energy, you're going to drop dead too. Only it's very soon, very fast. It's like instantaneously. So we need to think about how this energy is flowing through us and what does it do? What does it govern? It governs everything. It governs our whole internal structure, becomes part of our belief system, our energy system, our thoughts. And whatever it is that we are thinking or feeling, we put that information into the life energy and we let it flow through our whole body and sometimes stay in our whole body or in even particular places in our whole body. And it sits there not moving much. It always has to move, but it's not traveling or flowing. It gets stuck. Like if you have an arthritic hip or foot or something like that, it's going to stay right there and not flow. And it's got that information. Oh, I have an arthritic hip. Oh, and it hurts and I can't move. And it's really hard for me to get up and down. And I need help all the time. And I'm really sick. And if those are the things that you're thinking about yourself and kind of whining and complaining to yourself of, I've got all the awful symptoms. It's really terrible. I'm really sick and I need so much help. And you're reinforcing all the sickness and the pain and the discomfort and the disability. And you make yourself worse. You are creating that arthritis and you're creating the continuance of it and the worsening of it by the way you think and feel and believe. The way you think and feel is because you believe that. So the beliefs are kind of at the bottom. They're primary. And whatever it is we're believing, if we're believing that the world's really hard and I don't have a very good job, I hate my job, and I deserve more, but nobody gives it to me, and I'm probably going to get fired. All those things are going to come about. If you keep thinking it, babbling it to yourself over and over and over, you're creating that reality because you're imprinting the life energy. This is the life energy of the universe, and it comes through you, it moves, collects information, gives you goodies, gives you information, moves on to the next wonderful thing in the universe. And it shares all that information with everybody. If you're holding a great deal of fear, you're really, really afraid we're going to have World War III. The economy is going to collapse. We're going to have World War III. Nobody's going to have anything available to them. The whole society's going to collapse, and it'll be disastrous for everybody. You're helping to create that. You picture it, you feel it, you're afraid, really afraid of it, you're angry about it. Those emotions charge the thoughts and the pictures tremendously. And it goes through you, it makes you sick, it makes you sicker, and it moves on as a thought form to everybody else. And finds other thought forms that are similar, and then that whole thought form, social thought form, gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then most of the people that live in that thought form or come into it get affected by it, and they think the same way. And they're all creating the same disaster. And it's the life energy is the medium through which all this is transferred and shared with everybody else. It isn't anybody's fault, so to speak, but it is everybody's responsibility. And what it boils down to is looking inside yourself, inside your head, inside your heart, inside your whole being. And what is it you really believe? What is it that you are thinking? What is it you think to yourself? What is it you say to others? If the most common thing that you're saying to the person that's around you the most in your life is how sick you are, how bad you feel, oh, I feel so bad I can't get up, please go get me such and such. If that's all you ever say, and then this other people hear that, it's contagious in that way. They pick up the thought forms, they pick up the beliefs, they end up believing these things that you say about yourself, and that inevitably gets transferred to the beliefs about themselves. So they end up feeling sick, injured, faulty. They feel a victim. They feel afraid. They feel afraid of the world around them. We pass it on. But it doesn't have to be like that. If we change and heal and clean up what's inside us, be really, really honest, not judgmental, but honest with yourself. What are you carrying inside of yourself? What do you believe? What do you believe? What are you feeling? What are you acting on, speaking on? What is that attitude that you feel and are thinking all day? Is it positive? Is it about how much you love everything, how much love you feel in the world, how much beauty you feel and see in the world, and everything just works out so nicely and beautiful? It will if that's what you believe. But you have to wholeheartedly believe it inside yourself. That's cleaning up your thoughts. That's getting rid of all the beliefs and the thoughts and feelings that are negative and harmful to you and to others, to the whole human race, to our planet. And it goes past our planet. What happens on our planet, life energy carries that information out, carries it out to the rest of the galaxy and the other galaxies and other races out there, other beings, people that are out there. What do you want to share with the people around you here on Earth? What do you want to share with the people? We haven't even met most of those people yet, and there's a lot of them. And there are all kinds of different people at different stages in their development. But there are other places, other planets that are having the same sort of troubles that we are, and susceptibility to these kinds of beliefs. When we change our beliefs, we change ourselves, our life, our health, and we change the world around us. We change our relationships. We change our job situations. We change the kind of world we live in. Right now, we're living in a world where we have these huge companies that have been run by extremely greedy people who don't care what they're doing or hurt or anything. They just want something for themselves, money and power for themselves. And they're creating things like pharmaceuticals that make people sick or kill people. They change the laws to make that possible. There's people that make food full of poisons, full of plastics, full of all kinds of synthetic things and chemicals and over-processed everything that only make us sicker, hurt us more, don't nourish us because they don't have the nutrition in them. But they poison us. And that's all around us. We're living in a world that is poisonous and poisoning everybody, everything, all the time. Whichever field you look at government, you look at military, you look at education, you look at the food, you look at medicine, you look at the hospitals, you look at any avenue, and all this stuff is going wrong and getting worse. And it gets worse because we're getting more scattered, more sick, more afraid, and passing that on. And we're manifesting that. And we can unmanifest it very, very fast, very easily, if we just wake up to what's around us and use our life energy to help ourselves and help the people around us and help our world. This is what we think, what we feel. We're using life energy. We're putting information into it, sharing it with other people and other consciousnesses like the earth itself and other planets and the sun and everything. We affect everything. And we have to grow up. It's time to grow up as a race, as individuals, and take responsibility for cleaning this stuff out of ourselves. You have to clean it out of yourself first. By pointing the finger at somebody else and saying, you know, you're thinking that and you got this and you got that and it's your fault. That doesn't do any good whatsoever and never works. It makes everything get worse. You have to clean yourself up, and you have to find your own life energy and the love that's in the life energy and the love that's in you and the love that's in the world. So much love everywhere in the world and so much beauty. And we end up not seeing it and ignoring it and destroying it because of these beliefs. And what we are doing with our own life energy. We have to change that. And if we can do that, a whole species, this is a totally different world, a very enlightened world, a very beautiful world full of love and light and prosperity and creativity and beauty everywhere. Relationships full of beauty and love, the kind of which we've never known. It has been here on Earth before, but it's so far back we don't remember it. We can if we try. But that's the world we have to make, and that's That's what life energy is.
Oops, didn't mean to do that. Beautiful, Kay. Thank you.
I'd love to hear what you guys all have to say about that.
Yeah, I was muted. Beautiful, Kay. Thank you. Laura,
Yeah, that was incredible. Okay. In fact, it's like those are one of those talks that you have that I feel like I need to transcribe. And it's not like I haven't heard you say this stuff over and over and over again, but the way you packaged it today and explained it, it was, I really enjoyed it. And I, you know, here in the book, it's such a, to free your sacred life energy, fill it, let it heal you, and use it for good. It's such a simple sentence. And it's such a packed sentence. And we had our book club a couple of weeks ago do that one line. And my favorite, I mean, one, we keep going about these things are sacred. You know what? We're so not used to the sacred, but to use it for good. You know, that part of it, you know, and you did such a beautiful job of explaining that back end, the last part of that sentence, to use it for good, what that means and how it means, you know, in affecting our life. This was lovely. I'll let Laura talk, but it's like, thank you.
Yeah, beautiful teaching, Kay. I remember when I first started to learn about the earth, fire, serpent, and the life energy, and well, I didn't realize how much it was going to impact my life. It's just, just the song. But what I learned is we have such a responsibility once that energy gets moving. Because I know my energy cleared from my heart. I felt that connection to everything. And then I realized you can't just create and walk away and pretend like you're not affecting everybody else with what you're thinking about and what you're feeling. And it takes a toll on me at first because I was like, oh, I have such responsibility. I was like, it's like, oh my, I have such a responsibility here. And then that's one of the things that you talked about is it's like what you value. What do you value? Because when you look at what you value, that's where your attention's going. And I noticed as I had more energy going through me, I had more awareness of that connection and more awareness of my impact on the planet and my own healing. And it's a lot of responsibility when you really realize, okay, am I here now? And where am I scattering my attention? Where am I scattering my awareness? But one of the things that you also did is you had a ceremony where it was really focusing on gratitude. And I realized that when you focus on gratitude and the things that you appreciate, that's where your attention goes. That's where you're putting that energy out to heal the planet and yourself. So yeah, wonderful talk, Kay. Wonderful talk. I mean, it's and let me just not just talk. Wonderful teaching. Wonderful teaching.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, thank you for saying that, Laura. Teaching. And question for Laura too, because we both remember the first time we did. Those who've read The Reluctant Shaman will remember, or maybe not. Maybe they need to read it again. But the Kay talks about the dance of the Earth, Fire, Serpent ceremony that she did with Damano and Chia, in that book. And prior to, and that's a ceremony that is in the very beginning teachings of the Call of Your Song course, as part of our training, is one of the very first things that Kay teaches us. And we do this ancient ceremony. And I know Laura, and I know, if you know, we've both, prior to doing that, have done other energy work. You know, it's like done a lot. And Kay always says, don't come to these teachings with ICTA. I know that already. Totally an ICTA moment for me. It was like, I'll do this. I know this stuff. I've done some energy work. You know, I studied modern shamanism. I've studied other things. Laura studied Reiki. You know, it's like we've welded energy, and no, we hadn't. To be honest.
So true.
No, we hadn't. We had no idea. I mean, Kay always talks about, before you do this ceremony, you know, your life energy is like this. You know, it is. It's just this little funnel, and it's still doing things. Trust me, you're still responsible for what's coming out of that little funnel. You know, you're still manifesting your life. You're still creating the things you want in life. And then you do this ancient ceremony, you know, and we recently did it again and again. We keep doing it, and it busts open this, so it starts becoming this. And the access to this energy, that it changes everything. I mean, the manifesting in my life, the ease. You know, I believe I have ease. My husband believes we have ease. And we literally walked, we just came back from a family vacation. And I'm teaching my kid, one of my kids is a tattoo artist suddenly, and started her own business. And I was teaching her how she can write off her business this vacation. And one of the things I said is, all you need is a phone number of a tattoo artist. You know, we're going to get some accountant on here that tells me that's not how to do it, but just bear with me for the story. And a photo of this tattoo at this restaurant we were going to that night. And I said, we can write off the dinner. And they all laughed about it. And I'm like, no, really. And I said, let's plan on getting that. We sat down at dinner, and our waitress had a beautiful tattoo. My stepdaughter mentioned it, and the waitress walked away, and I was waiting for my stepdaughter to ask for information. The waitress came back without even being asked, giving us a phone number of the tattoo artist, all of the information, and asked if we wanted to take a picture. And so, I mean, that's ease. I mean, that's how I roll now. I'm just saying, this is my life now, where I believe, I mean, the chaos is behind us. You know, if there is chaos in front of us, it clears up quickly. And that's, I mean, it's having ease in your life is not something that's small by any means. You know, things just, because I didn't have it before. I had the blind belief I had to work hard. If you didn't work hard, if it wasn't hard, it wasn't worth doing. Screw that. But anyways, I got off course. The life energy that this ceremony brings, and I'd love for Laura to talk about it, because she had the Reiki background, if you don't mind, Laura.
Oh, no, I don't mind at all. You know, I had been doing probably Reiki as a Reiki master for like 14 years before even doing the Earth, Fire, Serpent ceremony. And I did it like Kay did in the book. I made a fire outside, and I just did the sacred spot and everything. And it was during the summer solstice. And so I was out there all by myself. Everybody else had gone to bed. And I'm going to just say, wow. I just want to start off with, wow. I didn't get done until like 11 o'clock at night. And I felt the energy go through my body. I felt it clearing stuff. At one point, I had to look down at my feet, because it's like, I thought I had like ants crawling all over me. I could feel the energy as it was moving up through my body. It was just so amazing. And And I had a little itka too, because I didn't know that I would really actually feel it as powerful as that. And when it went through my heart, it's like I could finally breathe. I didn't realize my breathing had been restricted by whatever energy was like blocking my heart chakra. And as it cleared, it's like it lifted a huge weight off me. So I got all done and cleaned up everything and headed back to the house. And like I said, everybody else was already in bed. And literally, I had so much energy going through me. I was shaking. I was like I couldn't even. I took all the covers I could find and sleeping bags, and I just crawled into bed. And I literally shook for hours. Now I haven't talked to anybody else that's actually had that experience, but my little energy was huge. And I noticed with my healing work now, and that's another reason why I say there's just so much more responsibility. You have to pay attention to what you're thinking about, what you're believing, and what masks are driving you, because you have so much life energy that's available to you now that you're creating. You can't just, there's responsibility there. You don't create absent-mindedly or unintentionally and just walk away, because you are impacting all of humanity and all the energy around you.
But you'll get what you want.
Yes.
So you really have to focus, a life on the things you want. You will get what you want. And it was like I wanted more time and I lost a job. I got the time, so I had to all of a sudden like shuffle that around. It's like it took some time to get used to after the Earth, Fire, Serpent. I didn't have like the experience Laura had with my first. I really didn't think anything happened after my first Earth, Fire, Serpent ceremony. I was like, nothing happened, nothing. And then 2 days later, it was like I had knowingness a lot early on, and my knowingness just like it was coming hard and fast, put it that way. My spirit abilities, because I was already talking to spirits before that, and my spirit ability, it was like the clarity, and they were everywhere. It was everything, amped up, not a little, but a whole lot, and Kay is amazing. Kay, you're just so lovely. I mean, I've taken other training that's like a 3-day weekend, and they're like, okay, bye. And Kay teaches us and continues to coach us. We have it's so when I was feeling after all this life energy and everything was coming on, that little bit of cray. Kay spent time reminding me the other teachings we had. And how to navigate all this life energy, and it's like, I can't imagine now living without it. I mean, it's just, I don't know that I take it for granted. It's just that easefulness that like, I got it. It's like, we need something to happen. We need a good parking space. I got it.
I know. I got it.
I'm
so good at it.
I know. But you do, and use it, and using it in the healings, is just, we're getting ready to do the weavings. Are we allowed to talk about that? Am I way off course, Helmet? I promise I'm not caught.
No, you're okay. You're good.
Yeah. Okay, so weavings, 1 week from, 1 week from today.
Today.
Yeah.
Yes,
1 week from
exactly.
today. We're all going to get together and use all this life energy and the symbols in this book that you see. It's like nothing else I've ever done in my entire life. And you need these delicious, amazing amount. Maybe that's why I'm so talkative now. We talked about life energy and it's just bursting and flowing, but it's like, this is everything. I'll go and say again and again, it's like, or I've looked for things because I wanted to make a better place in this world. I really did. You know, we all talked about it. You know, I'm an 80s kid. We are the world. You know, we always talk about helping hunger and all these things. And, you know, we write a check or sing a song and don't know the impact. By this, doing these weavings, we see an impact. We see it. We see the things we're changing. My husband made a list of things he wants to see happen. He's like, as long as you're in that energy, because he's used to it now after, so many years of doing this. He's got his list of to-dos for me to fix the world on. Thank you, Kay.
Once you have that Earth, Fire, Serpent ceremony, which is the energy opening ceremony, like getting a Kundalini rising, only it's so much easier and completely safe, where Kundalini isn't always. And it's doing the Kundalini way. I mean, it's somebody else's tradition. They've been doing it a long time, and that's all good. If they want to do that, that's great. But the Earth, Fire, Serpent is so much stronger and easier and faster, and it has so much beauty in it in so many different ways, and increases that flow of the life energy. You know, that little pencil, skinny central channel in your body that moves the life energy up and down, in and out of chakras, and in around your body, the whole body. It widens. It literally widens. That means you contain more flow of energy. This is like a garden hose. If your hose is tiny, your flow is small. If your hose is really big, you have a whole lot more water that can come through that hose. And that's the way it is with the life energy. And immediately in that ceremony, you can feel that flow increasing through the channels, through your body. You could feel it in the physical tissues. You feel it in your auric field. You feel it going out into the world around you. And everything you do has a bigger punch. It's a bigger bang for your dollar. You know, and it grows. The more you use it, the more it grows. So the more you do something like the healings, like Laura Philpott does these energy healings, and we have our techniques too. But it's getting that amount of life energy, utilizing it, collecting it, directing it, focusing that life energy right in that spot on somebody's body to help with whatever disease they got, or a break, or whatever it is. It's just so powerful. It's so much more powerful. And it is, if you use it and practice it, it keeps getting bigger and more powerful and easier. And so we recommend that you take every opportunity. Somebody's got a little owie in your house, just give them the juice. Yeah.
Well, I have to add, I did Reiki for a very long time, but after doing the Earth, Fire, Serpent and learning the healing arts level 4, it doesn't even compare. I don't even do that anymore. I do the Katasi healing.
Yeah, I've heard other Reiki masters even say the same thing. As soon as they got that initiation, and as soon as they started doing healings with the new techniques, well, new to us, they're very ancient actually. They're so much more powerful, and you're completely involved. And as you're doing them, it's developing you. It develops your spirit senses and your spirit gifts. They just keep getting better and better the more you work with all of this.
Yeah,
and I
it's
see it in the two of you and Helmut. I've had a chance to see it in Helmut for about 32 years now, and how much it grows. And when he does a healing, it is a real wallop. It's, it is fantastic. You can feel it even before he's finished. And these things are natural to us. They're natural to humans. We should all have this knowledge and these abilities. And if we clean up our act and clean up the world, we will. We will all be learning all of these techniques and increasing our own life energy. And it makes your awareness, your understanding, your perception of things really changes. The more you work with this, the more you use it, the more you learn. And everything in you changes to the good. You can't help but to start, as the Navajos would say, walking the beauty path. Because it just changes you, and it opens your perception up, and you see the reality of how much beauty and love there really is everywhere and in everybody and in everything, how much aliveness and consciousness is everywhere. You experience it. You really know it because you experience it, and you keep experiencing it over and over and over. The most beautiful teachings I've come across my whole life.
Okay. Beautiful. We've touched on so many beautiful things. One of the things I've been thinking about as you were talking, and you talked about many of them, but there's so many more enormous treasures life energy introduces you to and opens up to you. It's just, you go from the walking dead to being fully alive and truly realize what that means. And how amazing this all is. I think we're good for today. Any other thoughts?
I want to add one thing,
Ooh,
because when you're connected to the life energy, it's just, you don't know exactly how you're going to see the changes in your life, but it makes life so much easier. It's just so much easier. That connection to everything, just you'll start to see it. You don't notice the gifts right away, or sometimes you do. Sometimes they're just so subtle, but they're just nothing but gifts. Nothing but gifts. Thank you, Kay.
Okay, if you want to learn more, check out Kay's books, including her latest one. And of course, there's the Reluctant Shaman and Sacred Link. If you want to talk with us, find us through the links in the description. And thanks for joining us live. Beautiful to have you here. And we see you next time, which is not next week because we have a big ceremony. We have the weaving ceremony. So it'll be in 2 weeks. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank
Love
you
you
all.
all.
Thank you, everybody. Love you.
Bye bye.